What's up guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm sure at some point while you've been watching my videos, you've probably wondered how I farm so quickly and get to the end of each dungeon insanely fast. If you haven't wondered that before, then I guess this is the end of the video. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways, today I'm going to be explaining how bombs in Trove are one of the most useful yet underused tools in the entire game. Not only are they insanely cheap to make or buy, but they're also essential for clearing dungeons as fast as possible. To start things off, I wanted to give a brief summary of why bombs are so useful for speed farming. Have you ever had a situation where you've been making your way through a dungeon and you absolutely just can't find where you're supposed to go? Bombs can fix that. Have you ever been participating in an hourly dragon coin challenge but you simply couldn't clear the required amount of dungeons to get your full reward? Bombs can also fix that. Bombs are basically the quickest way to skip through entire dungeons to get to the boss. Now there are other alternative ways to skip through dungeons, one being big bombs and the other being dragon projectiles, but neither of these are quite as efficient as regular bombs. Some dragon projectiles come close, like the primordial water or fire dragons, or the plague dragon, but regular bombs simply outspeed all of your other options and cost significantly fewer resources. Big bombs also just suck, so that kind of invalidates them as an option. So at this point, you're probably wondering, what's the best way to obtain these regular bombs? Well, in all honesty, simply crafting them in an adventurer's crafting bench tends to be the best way to get bombs. One set of 4 bombs costs 1 primordial flame and 10 shapestone ore. These materials can be farmed up super easily by traveling to the Dragonfire Peaks biome and finding an underground cave area, which is full of both shapestone and primordial flames. Shapestone can be found in the marketplace for around 5.8 flux average per shapestone, while primordial flames can usually be purchased for around 40 flux each. After doing some quick math, the rough estimate price for each bomb if you buy the materials then craft them would be around 24.5 flux per bomb. What I recommend, however, if you don't feel like farming for the materials, is simply buying the bombs themselves. Bombs tend to sell for 25 to 26 flux per bomb, meaning that you're saving yourself the time of buying both materials and crafting the bombs for the extra cost of around half a flux to 1.5 flux per bomb. If you're really cheap or low on flux, feel free to buy the materials or farm for them yourself. But if you have more than 100k flux, I highly recommend just buying already made bombs from the marketplace. Now that we've covered the basics of bombs, why they're so good, and how to actually obtain them, I figured the best way to continue this video would be to simply show footage of several cases where bombs have sped up a dungeon clear. While these clips are rolling, I'll also be explaining some other extra tips about bombs. Some of the clips are way simpler than others, but overall, they do a good job demonstrating how bombs can speed up your dungeon clearing speed. One cool mod that really helps when bombing through dungeons is a mini-boss radar mod that shows a giant beam of light above boss enemies. So if any of you guys want that mod, I'll leave a link in the description below. The mod isn't required, but it does help sometimes when you're trying to find bosses. Overall, the key to using bombs is to use them in situations where dragon projectiles wouldn't be quick enough. There's several situations where there's a 1 block wide glass wall blocking off a dungeon where you can simply use a dragon projectile to break the wall. You can use bombs in a situation like this, but if you want to be super efficient with your flux, I only recommend using bombs if you aren't able to instantly clear your path with a single dragon projectile. In addition to this, bombs are also insanely useful when you're able to access the outside of the bottom of dungeons. A great example of this is any biome with a cave system, like the Dragonfire Peaks, or even the Cursed Skylands adventure worlds. I personally love farming in the Cursed Skylands since you can usually jump to the bottom of each dungeon and bomb straight through to the boss room immediately. One last tip I wanted to give about bombs is that you might want to consider installing a mod like the Lite bombs mod, which basically reduces the visual clutter that bombs normally have. Normally, bombs have quite an obnoxious particle effect that'll block your vision if you're spamming a bunch of bombs at once. The Lite bombs mod reduces these particle effects to the point where it still exists and looks good, but it no longer completely blinds you. If you're on PC and want to download this mod for yourself, the Steam Workshop page for the mod will be in the description below. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you learned something new, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.